it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. For today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the budget I wrote out for my husband's second paycheck in May. We are going to figure out how much cash I need to pull out of the bank for my cash categories here, and we are going to stuff my cash envelopes. So, we are adding quite a bit of money to our sinking funds this week, which is exciting because I've seriously been neglecting my sinking funds. So we're going to need to pull out cash for that, as well as for our typical cash envelopes. So for me, the first step of my cash envelope stuffing is figuring out how much money I need to take out of the bank and in what denominations. And for that, I use the cash envelope breakdown sheet here in my Budget by Paycheck workbook. I write in all of the categories that I need cash for as well as their amounts, and I get a total, and then I figure out what denominations I want to take that money out of the bank in. So the first step is writing in the categories. So we are going to transfer the cash envelope categories as well as the sinking fund categories, because that's the categories I need to pull cash for. We're going to get those transferred onto this page as well as their amounts, and then we're going to do the cash breakdown together. So really quickly, I'm just going to write those categories and their amounts in, and I will be right back. Okay, so I wrote in all the categories and their amounts. I used my trusty calculator and added everything up, and I know that I need to pull out $390 from the bank. Now we're going to go down each category and figure out what denominations we want. You know, sometimes you might want 20s, sometimes you might want 10s, it all just depends. So if I go to the bank and I ask for $390, they're not going to give me the exact denominations I need, so I need to know how much I need so I can request that. So we're going to start out with my husband's spending money. He gets $40. We always do two 20s for that. So I will just write in a little 2 here under the $20 increment here. For my spending, I get $40, also two 20s, so we got 2 more 20s. Austin is going to get a 20. Our lawn care is going to get a 20. Eating out is going to get 40. That's two 20s. Miscellaneous is going to get a 20. For our campground, it's $50, so we're just going to pull out a 50 for that. Car maintenance is going to get a 20. Christmas is going to get 30, so that's a 20 and a 10. My husband's sinking fund is going to get a 10. Holidays is going to get a 10. Household is going to get a 20. Pets is going to get a 10, school expenses is going to get a 10, and vacation is going to get a 50. So, we're not going to do any 1s or 5s this time. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10s, which is a total of $50. So we need $50 in 10s. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need 12 20s. Which is a total of $240. And then we need two 50s for a total of $100. So now I'm going to add up this total. We're not going to take any hundreds. I'm going to add up this total and make sure that this total matches this total. So 50 plus 240 plus 100 is 390. So those totals match. So that means that I did everything right. All my math is accurate. We're going to go to the bank, pull out $390 in these increments. So we want $50 in 10s, $240 in 20s, and $100 in 50s. I'm going to go get that, and I'm going to be right back so we can stuff these cash envelopes together. Okay, so I have all of my cash. I have my cash envelope breakdown here. We're going to count this up and make sure that I have the $390 that I needed and in the proper denominations. We're going to lay it all out, and then I'm going to pull in my cash envelopes and we're going to get those stuffed. So this should go pretty quick and painless. So we needed $390. So let's count this up and make sure that's what I have here. I have 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. All right, and let's just double check our denominations. So we needed 5 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go ahead and get that lined up here. 5 tens. We needed 12 20s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 20s. And we needed 2 50s, which we do have here. So I have all of the cash I need. Now I'm going to pull in my cash envelopes first. So this is my wallet where I keep all of my cash envelopes. This is a Conscious wallet, which is available on Amazon. It comes with the wallet as well as the strap, and it's an all-in-one system. So it also comes with some plastic cash envelopes and some little tracking sheets. The envelopes you're going to see in this wallet, though, are not the envelopes it comes with. I purchased separate envelopes from an Etsy shop. They are just these clear cash envelopes, which I really love. You can go on Etsy and just search clear cash envelopes and you will find tons of options in this style. I really like them because you can see the cash right through them, so it's really easy to see what you have and what you don't. So these are my cash envelopes. I've got this all set and ready to be stuffed. Also, I have my accordion folder. This is where I keep all of my sinking funds. So each of my sinking fund categories has its own little tab here in this accordion file. I just keep all of the cash in there, as well as a little index card where I keep track of the transactions I'm making with that fund. This is a great system. It works out really well for me. When I'm not using this, this just gets locked up in my safe, so all of the cash is safe and sound. I don't have to worry about it getting lost or stolen. Keeping sinking funds in cash is a personal preference. I know it's not going to be for everyone, but it really works out for me. So right now I'm going to put this accordion folder off to the side because we're going to focus on my cash envelopes first, but this will be waiting in the wings ready for when I'm ready to do my sinking funds. So I have everything set and ready, and we're just going to go down the line one at a time. Each of these envelopes rather, will get stuffed. I just want to zoom you guys in a little tiny bit. And let's go ahead and get started. So the first category that we have here is my husband's spending money. He gets $40, so what I'm going to do is just take his $40, 2 20s, and set this off to the side for him so he can put it in his wallet. And as I go, I'm just going to highlight these so that I know that I have filled them. So that's my husband's spending money taken care of. Next, I have my spending money, and that is also $40. So we're going to do 2 20s for that as well. 1, 2, so I have $40, and that'll go right here into my spending envelope. My spending money can be spent on anything that I want. It's just a little bit of money for me to have the freedom to spend should I need to. And having that little bit of freedom so helps me stick to my budget. We have a pretty strict budget, but having this little bit of freedom really helps us stay on track. So that's my spending money. The next category we have here is Austin, and he gets $20, so I'm going to set this off to the side with my husband's spending money so that I can give this to him when he gets home from school. And he can do whatever he wants with that. That's his allowance. So that takes care of that. Next up, we have lawn care, which is going to get $20. $20. So we have a $20 bill. I don't have a pretty clear cash envelope for my lawn care. I typically just stick this 20 here in this pocket of the wallet. If you would like to see a full like first impression review on this wallet, including everything that it comes with, I do have a whole video on that, which I will link in a card above in this little corner. You can check that out. And I do have the Conscious wallet linked in my description box as well. So that took care of lawn care. Next up we have eating out, which is going to get 40. So I'm just going to flip here. We didn't do gas money in cash this week because I used my debit card for that. So we're going to skip gas, move right on to food, which is where I keep my eating out money. And we're going to do 2 20s for that. My husband has a dinner out with his dad planned this week to celebrate his dad's birthday. So that is where this money will be going this week. So that was eating out. Next up we have miscellaneous, which is going to get a 20. And this is just essentially like an emergency 20 that I keep here in my wallet for anything else that comes up throughout the week that I didn't plan for. So that takes care of that. The only other envelopes I have here in my wallet are my debt and bank envelopes. Those get used throughout the week if I have money in any of these categories that I want to pay towards debt or deposit into the bank. So an example for this bank envelope would be if I were to purchase something with my spending money, but I did it online, so I had to use my debit card or a credit card, I would just then take the cash from this envelope and put it in this bank envelope to be deposited to cover that transaction. So that's it for my cash envelopes. My wallet then will go back into my handbag where I can access it easily throughout the week. We'll go ahead and mark off this miscellaneous category because we filled that. And now we're going to move on to the sinking funds, and that's where this accordion file comes into play. So, as I mentioned, each of my sinking funds has its own tab, so it makes it really easy to just flip through here, find the fund. I have them all labeled very clearly, and I'm going to keep this accordion folder off to the side because whenever I try to keep it in the frame, it messes with the focus. My camera can't decide if it wants to focus on my notebook or on this accordion folder, so it's a little wonky. So I'm just going to keep this off to the side and pull in each fund individually. First one we're going to fill is our campground fund. So I just go behind the campground tab and pull out my fund, which I have in this envelope. Some of my sinking funds I have little clear cash envelopes for. Some of them I don't. I've just made these myself using a laminator and some cardstock. Real simple and easy. I labeled it using my label maker. Just helps kind of keep everything corralled in its little tab. So here's my campground fund. I have the cash as well as the little index card. Anytime that I add money to this fund or I take money out, I just indicate it here on this little card, and that helps me stay accountable with this fund and helps me keep track of what I have going on. So you can see the last transaction we had here. We took out $92 from this campground fund, and that was to pay our electric bill up at our campground. That is the only other kind of expense that comes along with our campground situation. We pay the $1,400 a year to use the actual site, and then we just pay the electric bill. So that was $92. That came out of here, and we now have $576 in this fund. So I'm just going to update this little card because we're going to add $50 today. So the way I do it is I just write the date, which is 5/11, and then since I'm adding money, I'll do a little plus sign, plus 50, and that gets added to our previous total. Sometimes I can do the mental math, but we're going to use a calculator for this one. So 576 plus 50, it's really not that complicated, but I'm not the greatest at mental math, especially when I'm on camera. I don't know what it is. It's like my brain stops working when the camera's rolling, so We're just going to use the calculator and get a total of 626. So then what I will do is go ahead and add the $50 to the fund. I'm just going to slip it in there. And then anytime that I add money to a fund or I take money away, I always like to count it just so that I know that I didn't make a mistake. Sometimes I will, you know, grab a 20 and stick it in there instead of a 50 if I'm not paying super close attention. Counting it helps me catch any of those mistakes. So we're looking for a total of $626. Let's see where we are. So we have 100, 50, 200, 50, 300, 50, 400, 50, 500, 50, 600, 620, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So there's $626 just as anticipated, so that's good. Means there were no mistakes. Our campground fund gets a little bit heftier. We'll just continue to add to it until we get that $1,400 we're looking for. For now, this is going to go back into my accordion folder, and we'll pull out the next one, which is car maintenance. Alright, so I have my car maintenance envelope here. Let me just check off campground so I know that I filled that, just so that there's no confusion. So car maintenance is going to get $20. Right now this fund has $387 in it, and we are going to add 20 more today for a total of 407. That's some mental math I can do, so we'll go ahead and add a 20, and just like before, we'll count this up, make sure we have 407. 100, 200, 300, 350, 370, 390, 400, 405, 406, 407. Okay, easy peasy. Next up, we're going to pull out our Christmas fund. Alright, so we have our Christmas fund. Let's go ahead and check off car maintenance. Alright, so for Christmas, we're going to add $30. And right now, this fund has $450. So we're going to add 30, which will bring it up to 480. So we're going to add a 20 and a 10. And we're going to count it up. 150, 250, 350, 70, 90, 410, 430, 440, 450, 460, 470, 480. Okay. So I know it seems tedious to count the money every single time, but it only takes a second, and I cannot tell you how many times I've caught mistakes by just really quickly counting up each fund. I also go in once a month and count everything up and write it all down on a little tracker, just again to double check myself. It's so easy to make a silly mistake with your money and end up over budget somehow. So I'd like to avoid that as much as possible. So we took care of Christmas. Next, I'm going to pull in my husband's sinking fund. So this is a sinking fund that we set up for my husband so that he can buy some equipment that he's been wanting for work. It has $110 in it currently, and we are going to add 10 more today. And that should bring it up to a total of 120. So we'll go ahead and add this 10. And we have 50, 70, 90, 110, 120. Alright, so that takes care of my husband's sinking fund. And next up, we're going to pull out my holidays fund. See, this goes pretty darn quick. And it would honestly go even quicker if I wasn't doing it on camera, but I love sharing this process with you. It helps keep me accountable, and it helps keep you guys motivated, you've told me. All right, so my holidays fund is currently sitting empty. So we definitely, it's a good thing we're adding some more money to it. So we're just adding $10, and that will give us a total of $10. It's not a lot, but it adds up quick. So that is my holidays fund all set and situated. We'll go ahead and highlight that so I know that I filled it. Next up is my household fund, which is another one that is currently empty. So we've got nothing in there, so it's a good thing we're adding a little bit. Household is going to get $20, so that's going to bring it up to a total of $20. So this will go back into my accordion folder. Okay. Next up we have pets. And this pets envelope has a lowly $10 in it, so we're going to add 10 more today to bring it up to 20. And that's just going to be this 10. So we have 10, 15, $20. So I can get my pets their food and cat litter. That's back in the accordion folder. Go ahead and mark this off. Next up is school expenses, which is another fund that is currently empty. Like I said, we've really been neglecting our sinking funds lately, so I'm excited to be adding money to these again. So 511 plus 10, we're gonna add $10 to bring this up to $10. So that's our school expenses. Go ahead and mark that off. And lastly, we have our vacation fund. So when my husband and I went camping this past weekend, we used up what was left in our vacation fund. So it's currently empty. I'm glad we're going to be adding a little bit more to this because we're going camping again this weekend. There's going to be a lot of money going into and coming out of this fund as we are now into camping season. We like to spend as many free weekends as we can at our camper, and you know, there's expenses. So we're going to add $50 to bring this up to $50. Makes it super easy to count. There we go. This will go back into my accordion folder. And that is it. All of my sinking funds have been stuffed, so this is just going to get closed up. Go ahead and mark this off, just so there's no confusion, and I know that I added money to all of my funds. All of my envelopes have been stuffed, so we are all set and ready for a new week. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope that you got some value out of this video. If you did, please take a minute and give it a thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. Every time you interact with my video, whether it be giving it a thumbs up, leaving it a comment, sharing it with your friends, viewing the video, watching the ads, that all really helps my channel out. It helps YouTube to see that you like this kind of content, and YouTube will therefore not only share more of this same type of content with you, but it will also share my content with others, which really helps my channel to grow. Another way you can help my channel grow is by clicking that subscribe button. If you haven't done so already, I would love to have you come back. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. Lots of budget videos, grocery hauls, vlogs, that sort of thing. So I'd love to have you join my channel and my community here. I go live every single Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you would like to chit chat with me in real time, that's a whole lot of fun. I'd love to have you join me there. And I'd also love it if you would join my Facebook group. I have a Facebook group. It's Jwhackers Fans and Friends. We have a lot of fun over there chit-chatting about budgeting and just life in general. There's some fun printables available there. It's a great community, and I'd love to have you join. So that's enough of my rambling. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!